You wake up one morning to find that you've been kidnapped and plugged into a machine that is using your body to give life support to a world-famous violinist. The violinist is suffering from an illness that will take 9 months to cure, and you are the only one in the whole world with the blood type necessary to keep that violinist alive. If you unplug yourself from the machine before the 9 months are up, the violinist will die. So the question is, do you have the right to unplug yourself from the violinist? Obviously, no one has the right to kidnap you and force you into giving life support, even if the person you are giving life support to is highly valued by society. So the abortion activists are arguing here by some analogy that a pregnant woman must have the right to unplug her body from her baby in an abortion because you have the right to unplug your body from a violinist. Okay, there are many reasons why this argument makes no sense and fails, but I'll start with 2. Number 1, abortion is killing, intentional killing, not just declining life support. Abortion is the direct and intentional killing of a child in the womb. Here's some frank descriptions. Abortions use suction or forceps to violently dismember a child while he or she is still alive, followed by crushing the chest cavity or head of that baby. Or the abortionist uses large needles to inject poison into the child's head or into her heart. Or they exsanguinate the child, meaning they drain the blood from the baby's body. Or the abortionist uses pills to starve the baby of nutrients until he or she dies. So while you or I would be allowed to unplug ourselves from some violinist, we are not allowed to tear a violinist apart with suction or forceps, give a lethal injection to the violinist, drain the violinist's blood, or starve the violinist to death with pills. Look, a person's bodily autonomy does not give them permission to actively kill an innocent person, which is what abortion entails. The cause of death in the case of the violinist is the illness. The cause of death in an abortion is killing, and the baby would live if it wasn't killed. It's as simple as that. Number 2, parents have obligations to care for their children, even children they didn't plan for or want. The violinist argument fails to take into account the special relationship, the natural relationship between parents and children. Parents have natural obligations to support their children, and our laws recognize these obligations. This is why we require that fathers pay child support, even for children that they didn't want, and we should require fathers to pay child support while the child is still in the womb. He shouldn't get to say, "My body, my choice," and opt out of supporting that child. Both parents are responsible to feed, house, care for, and otherwise not neglect their dependent, vulnerable children. If the parents don't provide those things, they can go to jail for parental neglect. The fact that parents shouldn't starve their children isn't forced life support, it's common sense. In the event that they cannot care for a child, a mother or father is not allowed to kill that child. They must make an adoption plan so that someone else can take on the responsibilities of parenthood. And there are thousands of would-be parents who want to adopt. Carrying a pregnancy to term is natural, not forced. Pro-lifers are accused of forced birth, but in reality, the only forced birth in this discussion is abortion, which is the forced birth of a murdered child. A woman's uterus has one purpose: to nurture a child. That's what it's designed for. The child belongs in the uterus. This is a completely different situation than using artificial means to give life support to a stranger. So, if someone says that abortion is just declining life support or uses something dramatic like the violinist argument, remember these 2 points. Number 1, abortion is killing, not declining life support. And 2, parents have natural obligations to love and support their children. The pro-life position is not forcing anyone to give life support. The pro-life position is protecting human beings, children, from murder.